No Malbec for you, Ireland. I'm sorry, you'll have to drink Guinness. Catena. Well, actually, only 2 Catenas this week, but who's counting? Hey, and what's your wine glass at home? 11 Somms weigh in and share their favorite daily drinker wine glass. We'll talk about ours. All that and more on this episode of This Week Uncorked. Well, hello and welcome to episode 38 of This Week Uncorked for Monday, April 7th, 2025. I'm Brett Martin from Cork and Journey, your number one source for Corkage fees, winery reviews, wine reviews, restaurant reviews, and more. We're starting to roll out all of our interviews with winemakers and winery owners. That's worth checking out. If you haven't, you can do that. Check out that on our YouTube. Anyway, there's a lot going on over at Cork and Journey. Check it out. And with that, let's get right on into this week's wine news, shall we? So Miningers International has an article titled "Why One of Argentina's Top Wine Producers is Abandoning the Irish Market." The bottom line here is that Dr. Laura Catena, and yes, she's an MD. I think she went to Harvard and then she went to Stanford Medical School, and she also runs Catena Winery. She's taken over from her father. So she's all these things. She's a doctor. She's a winemaker. She runs wineries. She's not going to comply with Ireland's new cancer warning labels. We talked about this on a previous show where Ireland is now requiring, just like on a pack of cigarettes, this product may cause cancer kind of things, got to go on the back of the bottle. And so basically from the article, starting from the 22nd of May, 2026, all alcohol sold in Ireland will carry what is being described as the world's most comprehensive health warning label. The label will warn consumers about pregnancy health risks and liver disease, and will also state there is a direct link between alcohol and fatal cancers. Catena, who's a Harvard graduate, I got that right, and medical doctor degree from Stanford, I got that right too, strongly disputes the scientific basis of these labels. It says alcohol causes liver disease and a group of fatal cancers, and actually alcohol in moderation does not cause liver disease. And there may be an association with breast cancer if even moderate consumption, but I think that to say that any amount of alcohol causes cancer is a false statement. I agree with you, Laura. I was reading statistics on this and it was shocking. And maybe someone can fact check me on this, but I didn't realize that the instances of breast cancer in women was so high. It's like 11 out of every 100 women will get some form of breast cancer. And the studies around alcohol consumption make it 13 out of 100. So it does go up slightly. So you could say, hey, wow, it's a 20% increase of getting cancer. Still, I can't say it's a small risk because, it appears that the instances are high there. But then these studies are quite flawed because you have to trust that people are going to be honest, that they have moderate alcohol consumption. They only drink a couple glasses a week or, anyway, on and on and on. But that is Catena basically is saying, sorry, we're not going to play with this. We're not going to sell our wines in Ireland and slap these labels on the back of them because we think you're wrong. We think that saying it causes liver disease and cancer is wrong. There you go. So anyway, and then in our next wine story, Catena, they were named the world's most admired wine brand by Drinks International. So they're all over the news this week. So big congrats to them on the honor. It's well deserved. From the article by Olidad, Argentinian wine producer Catena has been the world's most admired wine brand in 2025 in the 15th edition of the ranking. It's the first time since 2020 that the brand has topped the list. So evidently 5 years ago they were there. And they were runner-up last year. And the world's most admired wine brand is voted on by a hand-picked academy of sommeliers, buyers, wholesalers, masters of wine, and writers. Don't know who they are? They're hand-picked, just like grapes. So, boom. Do you like that tie in there? So anyway, congratulations to Catena. I will tell you what, we had their, what was it, Malbec de Argentina? That's the one with the absolutely amazing fancy label on it that kind of traces Malbec coming to Argentina, phylloxera hitting and going all the way through. And anyway, it's pretty cool. And I think actually Laura Catena's image is contained on that label as well. It's anyway, we had that just the other night with a big dinner we went to. Man, was that tasty. I mean, and we've even got a review of it over at Cork and Journey as well. So you might want to check that out. And before we jump to the rest of the news, quick shout out to Somm TV. Love these guys. Talk about them every week. And basically, it's your TV channel for wine, all things wine. Anything you want to know about wine, they've probably got an episode that covers it. They've got movies about wine. Anyway, fantastic place. Check it out. And if you use the link below, you will get 50% off your monthly subscription. So a whopping $3.49, and you can be watching Somm TV. Go ahead, check it out, give it a try. I think you will like it. And with that, we'll move on with the rest of the news. So El Restaurante says, Queretaro, Freddie, producer Freddie, did I get that right?
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
All right. Querétaro is the first Mexican state to earn an IGP for its wines. I didn't even know that Mexico was giving out IGPs. Those are protected geographical indications that say, hey, this wine comes from this area and the grapes can only be from this area. You see this all over Europe as well. So basically, they have given this out to the entire state. So Queretaro's Secretary of Tourism, Adriana Vasquez Melado, added that the state has consolidated its position as a leading wine tourism destination, being the first non-beach destination to position itself as the most visited in Mexico, with more than 1 million tourists a year and an economic impact of more than 4 million pesos. We have gone from having 4 vineyards to having more than 30, consolidating the state as the most visited tourist destination in Mexico, said Vasquez Melado. So congratulations to them. I have not been. We have not been, but Tina and I were reading this and going through it. And since we spent so much time in Valle de Guadalupe and that whole Baja winemaking region, we thought, well, I think it might be time for a trip down there. So I just don't know when, but hopefully in the next couple of years we can get down there and check that out. It's amazing to see some of these wine regions boom. You know, you had the same thing happen in Valle de Guadalupe just over the last 20 years, just exploded. But to go from 4 to 30, my guess is they're going to go to more than that. We will see with wine tariffs hitting European wines, maybe Mexican wines, Chilean wines, Argentinian wines will start. They're going to be flooding our shelves. Australian wines, I'm sure. We will see. All right. And wrapping up the news, we asked 11 sommeliers, what glassware do you use at home? This is from VinePair. Hannah Staub gave us a rundown, and I'm happy to see that my favorite made the list. So a shout out to Joe Panabacher. He's the owner of Apartment 15 in Austin, Texas. I was just in Austin and I didn't check it out, but now I got to go back and check it out. Anyway, almost all these are very, very good choices. I do like the Gabriel glass. I mean, from the article at Apartment 15 and as at home, I use Gabriel glass standout. They are relatively durable and easy to wash in the dishwasher. They polish up nice. And most of all, they really do wonders for the wine. I love that they are a universal glass, so I drink everything out of them, from red wine to sparkling wine to dessert wine and everything in between. And I have to say, I kind of agree with Joe on this one. It is something that I'm seeing everywhere. You know, when we were at Mathiasen and we did the interview, Steve pulled out Gabriel glass. We were all over Napa. You're starting to see this everywhere. Fine dining restaurants, they're using the standard Gabriel glass. It is hard to break. It is beautiful. It still has a nice thin lip on it. It is. It does polish up nicely. It cleans nicely. Yes, you can put them in the dishwasher. I never do. I like to hand wash them. And I pretty much drink everything out of it. Pinot, I pretty much still go to the Pinot glass. I think that Riedel, I think their Pinot glasses just does something different for Pinot. And ports, I still put them in a port glass. I can't imagine putting a port in a Gabriel glass. That'd be a big pour. I guess you could just fill up just the bottom here a little bit. But for whites, champagne, reds, it's a perfect glass. And there's a whole rundown in the article of all of the different 11 glasses. All of them pretty good. Some of them, though, I don't know. You ever grab a wine glass and it's just so fragile, you just know this thing's going to break. I mean, I used to have those, and one time I was drying one and it just exploded in my hand because it's that fragile. So it's good for daily drinker to do something like this. And they're not cheap. I think it's $70 for 2 of these as it is. So you don't want to buy a super nice wine glass and then have it just shatter on you. You'd like it to be around for a little bit. So there you go. And with that, let's get into our wine and winery of the week. All right, this wraps up Valle de Guadalupe on the show. This is it. We every place we visited has now been reviewed and talked about. So this is all added into our guide to Valle de Guadalupe. But we're going to talk about El Cetto. It is one of the oldest wineries down in Valle de Guadalupe, and it is one of the top producers, if not the top producer of wine. So they make everything. They've got your very inexpensive wine. They've got high-end wine. They're kind of all over the map in all of the different wines that they make. If you go there, the winery is lovely. The tour is lovely. It's in their vineyards. It is right off Highway 3. Well worth it. If you're down there, add this one into your list as well. Like I said, it's on the guide, everything there. You can just check it out. But shout out to those guys down there. One of the original founders down in the valley, and they've been there a very long time, over 100 years, and worth checking out. And our wine of the week is going to be the Chateau Reserva Privada Nebbiolo. One of the wines that works really well in the valley is Nebbiolo. And so they do one that I have priced here for $20. That would be the top end price you're going to pay for it when you're down there. We gave it 88 points, a very drinkable wine. The beauty about this wine is because El Cetto is so widely distributed all over Mexico, you can be anywhere in Mexico and you can find El Cetto on every single restaurant wine menu. And this bottle is probably going to cost you $25 and well worth checking out because it's a great drinkable wine. It's not going to blow your mind or anything, but it comes from 40-year-old vines. It's really, really nice. It's got a little pepper, smoke, just a decent wine. Again, El Cetto, their Nebbiolo Reserva, good wine. That's our wine of the week. And with that, let's get on to our restaurant and Corkage of the week. So we're going to talk about Las Strega in Summerlin, Nevada. Summerlin is a suburb of Las Vegas. And as many of you know, Tina and I live in Las Vegas. We're in Southern Highlands, so we're about 25 minutes from Summerlin. And it is a beautiful community out there. For those of you that just go to Las Vegas, you would never know. But La Strega is a super nice little Italian restaurant tucked away in Summerlin. I want to give a huge shout out to Amy Leopard, who watches this show and actually sent us a note and said, love your show. You should check out this restaurant. I'm a Somm over here. And we did. It is helmed by Chef Gino Marinelli and Chef Pablo. And man, it's got seafood, pastas. It's just beautiful. The food really, really, really shines. And so when we were there, the service was a bit here. We got there early and it was like, great. Then they got packed, which just tells you how good they are. But man, I do want to shout out. Amy couldn't make it that night. They actually have a sister restaurant. There was an event. She was as the Somm. She was working over at that event, but she left us a lovely note and took care of everything. Recommended some wines to us, which we went with. They were fantastic. You should check out the review. There was just some great stuff there. Highly recommend it. We're going back, and so if you find yourself out in the suburbs over in Summerlin, which you should if you're ever in Las Vegas. It's a beautiful area. Check it out. Their corkage fee is $25 a bottle. It's a 2-bottle max. Half their wine list is $90 or less. So she's not marked it up. She's very proud of that, the fact that she's actually kept a really, really consistent wine list. So Amy, shout out. Great job. Fantastic wine list. Great restaurant. If you're in Summerlin, check it out. And that's going to wrap up our show for this week. I wanted to thank everybody so much for joining us. And if you like this video, check out our interview with Jack Galante from Galante Vineyards. Click on this link below. Jack is one of the great winemakers out in Carmel Valley. We would also love you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media. Till next week, everybody. Cheers.